first story ever told. And I'm living in Suffolk, in the east of England at the moment, and about 12 years ago. And the strange thing about this was that I found out after 2 or 3 different versions, but this is the version that I wrote about, and especially for the English or American audience. And when I usually start talking, I say to them like, well, you know, from my accent, I'm local to Suffolk or whatever. So once they find out that I'm Irish, then they say, have you been to Ireland? Any Irish here? You know, all this. And of course, plenty of Irish in Cork tonight. And it applies to you as well, because you will know that I'm telling the truth. This is a true story, because it's about our national diet. And I'm from County Roscommon. And the national diet in County Roscommon is the fry. You get this fry, no matter what house you go into, you will have a fry. There's no point in refusing, because there's a lot of Mrs. Doyle's in County Roscommon. Go on, you will, you will. And before you know it, there's a plate in your hand, there's a frying pan coming around. And all this is put on your plate: the eggs, bacon, sausages, hash browns, waffles, beans, mushrooms. Yesterday's leftovers, last week's leftovers, tomorrow's leftovers, everything is there. And she can go around. And there could be a family of 12. Now, I'm one of 16. I've got 9 brothers, 6 sisters. And I've seen it in my own house. Everyone's plate is filled, and she'll go back with the frying pan to the standing iron range. She put it down, and there's nothing taken out of it. It's like an old TARDIS there. It's still full. We never could understand what it's all about. But that is the way of it in Roscommon, most of Ireland anyway. And of course, like mothers all over the globe, mothers in Roscommon are very canny and very shrewd. And this was about a woman. She lost her husband when her only son was about 8 years old. And he was on the way. He went to Roscommon train station to go to Dublin, and he was never seen again. Very tragic indeed. But she vowed, you know, that she'd look after her son. And when he was going to the primary school, she had 2 jobs. And when he went to secondary school, she had 3 jobs. And when he finished it, he went to college. 4 jobs to put him through college. Well, it was worth her while, because he qualified, you know, in the computers and IT and that. And every evening to be sitting opposite each other at the table, having a fry, philosophizing, talking about things that were happening, things that were going to happen. And this night, Connor was in there. His mother, he says, I've been thinking. Have you now? She says. I have, he says. But what are you thinking about? He says, I'm thinking it could be time that I moved out. But why would you want to do that? She says. Well, he says, you know, you do so much for me. You know, I think I'd like to see if I could stand on my own 2 feet. Sure, what hurry is on you, Connor? He says. Sure, you won't be 45 years old for at least another 3 weeks. Well, that's just it, he says. I'm 45 years old and I'm still living here with my mother. Now it's time for me to go out. Well, she says, by all means, you know, but it's not easy out there. Mark my words, it's not easy out there. So she says, she gave me her blessing. And he went upstairs onto his little laptop and he started Googling around for a flat, and eventually found something he thought he'd like. And the next day he went and had to have a look at it. And he liked it. There's 2 bedrooms upstairs and the bathroom in the middle, downstairs a kitchen and a sitting dining room, and that was good enough for him. So he paid his deposit and he moved in. And the week before the month was up, when his next month's rent was due, he realized he really didn't have enough to pay, because now he's got his phone bill, his broadband bill, his water bill, his electric bill, his gas bill. He's got to pay all this. His mother was doing all his life. But of course he couldn't tell his mother that she was right. So he went down to the shops and he put an ad in the paper, room to let. And people came and people went. Some of them didn't like it, most of them didn't like it, but one evening a young woman called Joanne came along. He said, have you got a room to let? I have, he says. Come on in. And he showed her around upstairs, bedroom each side. I'll take it, she says. Well, he says, I'm having the back bedroom there because if all the traffic is at the front. And I got to be up early every morning. That's no problem, she said. So he shook hands on it anyway. They do the bills, split the bills 50-50. And things were good. And after a few days, Connor thought, I better let my mother know. So he sent his mother an email. Dear mother, I've really settled into my flat now. Things are really good at the moment. I've got a new flatmate, by the way. Her name is Joanne. We're just good friends. And about 10 minutes later, an email came back from the mother. My dear son, I'm glad you really settled into that flat of yours. I'd like to come over and have a look at it one of the evenings. And they arranged she'd come over on Thursday night. And she arrived in a taxi Thursday night, brought in, sat down, introduced to Joanne. And Joanne was getting the fry ready. And every time Joanne would come in, would lay down a fork or a knife or whatever, Connor could see how his mother was watching how the two of them were interacting. And when Joanne went out into the kitchen, now mother, he says, I keep telling you, we're just good friends. I see, she said. So they had the fry, and the mother loved it. She says there was something in it she had never tasted before, and she'd love to know what it was, what the secret ingredient was. Well, says Joanne, I'll give you the recipe before you go tonight. So when they had the fry, mother got up, she said, now I'll do the washing up. No, 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 says Joanne, you're a guest in this house. I'll do the washing up. And she did. And then in comes the coffee and the after eights. So when they had the coffee and the after eights, mother says, no, I'm not taking no for an answer this time. I'll do this washing up. All right, says Joanne. So mother went out to do the washing up. About 5 minutes after, he says, Connor, she says, where's the bathroom? Oh, he says, it's upstairs, he says. He says, I'm going to the bathroom. Would you ring me a taxi? I'll be going home soon. And he rang the taxi. Mother went upstairs and come down again, and the taxi arrived, and off she went. And 2 evenings later, Connor came home from work. And Joanne was standing at the door of the kitchen with a big long face on her. Connor, she says, where's my frying pan? He says, it's where it always is, in that cupboard beneath the sink. I'll show you. Well, he opened up the cupboard door, and of course, there it was, gone. Now, he says, now, you leave this to me. I know what you're thinking. And he goes in, he gets on his laptop. Dear mother, it was really lovely having you over the other night. And I'm so pleased you loved the fry. Joanne says you forgot to take the recipe, but the next time you're over, you can have it. But my dear mother, I've got a dilemma. You see, I'm not saying that you did take the frying pan, and I'm certainly not saying that you did not take the frying pan. But, my dear mother, the fact remains, since you were here the other night, there's no sign of the frying pan anywhere. Well, he spell checked it, and he looked at it, and when he was happy, he sent it off into cyberspace, and he went in to make himself a cup of coffee. And when he came back with his coffee, there was a little ping. There was a message and an answer from his mother. My dear Connor, it was really, really lovely seeing you and Joanne the other night. And the fry was really delightful. I certainly need to know what the secret ingredient is. And I sincerely sympathize with your dilemma. But my son, I'm not saying that Joanne is sleeping in your bed. And I'm certainly not saying that Joanne is not sleeping in your bed. But my son, my dear darling son, the fact remains. Had Joanne been sleeping in her own bed, she would have found the frying pan by now. Thank you.